Greetings, young men. This is Principal Kafele. I'm here in Dallas, Texas, sitting in my hotel room, getting myself ready for a big keynote address tomorrow morning to urban principals across America. But as you know, before I get started, I got a message for you. This message is really for high school young men. Anybody can listen to it, but I want to really zero in on the high school young men right now. High school young men of grades 9, 10, 11, and 12. Young men, let me tell you something. High school. These are the most critical 4 years of your life. Once again, your high school years. 4 of the most critical years of your life. What am I saying? I'm saying to you that from day one, when you walk into that school as a freshman, you have got to be serious. You have got to be focused, diligent, disciplined, and resilient. In other words, you can't play games with that high school career. You can't play games with your high school years. These years are your years of preparation for the rest of your life. These years are the foundation for the rest of your life. Yeah, elementary was important. Yeah, middle school was important, but that's behind you now. Now we're moving forward. So you're in high school. So this is it. These are the years. These are the years which will determine a lot of your outcomes. And I'm not one to say when we make mistakes, it's over. But I am one to say that when we make mistakes, sometimes we got to work a little bit harder. In fact, in most cases, much harder to overcome whatever those mistakes were. Doesn't mean that we're doomed nor defeated, but it means that we've got to work that much harder because we're in a hole now. So we got to climb out of that hole. So therefore, I'm saying to you that during those years of high school, starting with day one in freshman year, you got to be focused, young man. You can't be playing. You can't be jockeying for position. You can't be chasing the young ladies. You can't be distracted by distractions in the street. You can't be distractions by the street that comes into the building. You can't be tempted to do things which you know you shouldn't be doing. You can't be tempted to join organizations, join gangs. When I say organizations, I mean organizations that are not the right organizations. Joining gangs and then therefore giving all your devotion to that. I'm saying to you that your commitment has to be firm. Your commitment has to be 100% to the growth and development of yourself. Your commitment has to be given to your books. Your commitment has to be given to learning. Your commitment has to be given to broadening your horizon. Your commitment has to be given to your vision of where you're going. Your commitment has to be given to your purpose, which you have defined. Your commitment has to be given to your mission, to the mission at hand. Your commitment has to be given to where you will be 10, 20, 30 years from now. You don't have time to play. You don't have time to get in trouble. You don't have time to daydream. You don't have time to be late for class, late for school, absent mentally from what's going on in the classroom. These 4 years are too crucial. If you're a sophomore listening to me, then these 3 years. If you're a junior listening to me, then these 2 years. If you're a senior listening to me, then this 1 year. Whatever you are, these high school years are critical. These high school years are crucial. You have no time to play games. How dare you play games and squander your future? So what must you do in addition to the classwork, in addition to your coursework? Well, there's something called SAT. And from that first day, you need to start preparing for it. There's something called ACT. Well, from that first day, you need to start preparing for it. There are manuals, there are study guides, there are these thick volumes that you can purchase or someone can maybe loan you or give you or buy for you. And you spend time in addition to all your coursework studying for the SAT, studying for the ACT, learning how to take those tests. Because those tests, mastering those tests, being proficient on those tests are not just about what you know, but it's also how your skills in how to take a test. Got so many young men, brilliant, but can't pass the test, not because they don't have the wherewithal, not because they don't have the brilliance, not because they don't have the intelligence, but they don't have the study technique down pat. They don't know how to study for the test. They don't know what to do. They don't know what they don't understand what the question is asking, or they get caught up into the distractors in the question, or just get caught up into the wording of the question and don't realize exactly what the question is asking. So I'm saying to you, you can learn how to take those tests. You can learn how to study for those tests if your life is not devoted to playing, recreation, being late, being absent, not being serious, not being focused, etc. If your life is devoted to your life, and if your life is devoted to success, if your life is devoted to your future, then I'm saying to you, young man, that from day one, you start studying for those SATs, you start studying for those ACTs, but also you're researching the colleges and universities that are out there. You're trying to find what major you want to study, what colleges have the major you want to study. You're looking within yourself, as I've talked about in other videos, trying to find yourself, trying to find your passion, trying to find what it is that you want to do with your life, how you want to live your life one day in terms of your course of study. So also from day one, you're on the internet. You're using the internet productively, constructively, wisely, intelligently. You're looking up all these colleges. You're looking up all these universities across the country. You're finding the one that's a perfect match with your goals and aspirations, your vision for yourself, that has that major that you want to study. Or maybe as you grow and as you get older, maybe your ideas, maybe your aspirations may change. No problem. You've already started the research. So again, you know what's out there. You're taking notes, you're studying, you're making outlines of what it is these schools have and what it is these schools have to offer. So there's so much I could say, but I'm saying to you in the final analysis, high school students, that these 4 years are crucial. These are years of preparation. So it's not just the classwork or the coursework that's coming from your teachers, but it's your own preparation that you're doing. You're studying for that ACT, you're studying for that SAT, you're researching the colleges and universities that are out there, but you're also researching the scholarships that are out there. All this money out there for you, young man. You don't have to pay to go to school. You can go to school for free, but you got to do the research. You got to make the sacrifice. You got to make the commitment to you. So therefore, you got to be on the internet and you got to explore. You got to find that money. That money's out there. That free money is out there for you to go to college and get a free education. But you've got to do the work. You got to do the research. You got to find that money. But that money is there to give you that 4-year ride, including paying for your books and paying for your room and board. It is there. It is there for you. But you've got to find it. How dare you not do the work? How dare you not do the research? And now somebody's got to pay for your education because you wanted to rest. You wanted to play. You wanted to do other things outside of doing what was expected and required for you in order for you to take it to the next level, going on to that university of your choice. Not having to go to some university you don't want to be in, but the one of your choice because you did what's expected and what's required of you to be there. Take heed to my words, young man. I've been there already. I'm showing you how to get it done. You don't even have to open up a book. All you got to do is turn on the videos and listen to what I got to say. I've been there, done that. Now I'm doing what I do as a result of the foundation that I laid for myself many, many years ago. Now it's your turn. Let's get it done. Let's go. Let's make it happen. This is Principal Kafele. Thanks for listening. Peace.